Hello and welcome back to another video, and in today's video finally the last of the cattle are let out. So the two cows and the two calves that were in here are finally let out onto greener pastures, and that's all the cattle that were in the shed for the winter out on grass, out in the fresh air under the sun and whatnot. And now the next task is to clean out the slats and power wash them and get it ready for when they come back in around October, November time. We will try and keep them out for as long as possible, as that's always the case. But yeah, in today's video I'm just going to basically run through the procedures we took to letting the cows and calves out, because obviously for people watching that watched my videos and were subscribed to my channel for a while, and for new viewers, the farm is located on a main road, so it's very busy and cars do travel quite fast on it. And if a calf gets let loose on a field and gets out onto a main road, all that paperwork and all that headache is going to fall back down on us. So we do go through a lot of procedures to make sure our livestock are safe and secure and stay in a field, and our road users are safe on the road, and they won't be hitting any of our animals or whatnot. So we just go through a lot of procedures, especially letting out calves for the first time, which is what this was, because those two calves weren't ever let out onto grass or silage or anything like that before. So a lot of procedures were followed in that. But first of all, what we done was we let the cows and calves out to here. Now obviously we'll get into all that business in a minute, but we'll put it this way. This gate was not here. This gate is when we were letting them out. Obviously that gate and this gate open up. You can see a latch there for this gate and a latch there for that gate, so they all come together to make a runway, and we let the two cows and the two calves out onto in here for a couple of days, and every time the weather was good they were let out into this pen, and that was basically because every time they were in the shed, so in the morning time we'd put them out into the pen here, and they'd get all giddy and runny, piper, whatnot, every time they were first let out. Then after a couple of minutes they sort of calmed down a bit, and the two cows and two calves waited in this pen until the evening time. Then we brought them back in the evening, and we put them back up then onto the slats. And we've done that then for a couple of days, just to get the calves used to being outside. The calves, in an outside environment, of something they're not used to, because they were born in a shed and they were sort of reared and grew up somewhat, we'll say, in a shed. This is their first time being let outside, and all that, so it's a new environment for them, an unfamiliar environment, so they're going to be quite excited to explore things and all that, as cows and calves and animals of the likes would be doing. But yeah, they were out into this pen for a couple of days, in and out, the two of them, and then if we come back up, we were doing that for a few days. That wasn't any good dry day that we could get. We let the cows and calves out into that pen there. So when we come over to back inside, we decided then, because the old man, I don't know where he was, but one day he heard that someone told him that if the cows and calves weren't jumping, if the cows weren't jumping and being all runny and racing and giddiness, that the calves won't be running and racing and getting all hyper and giddiness. So our plan was, for that situation, we used this mat, this gate would have been obviously closed. We curtailed the calves into their little calf creep. We pulled that mat across so it was blocked. They couldn't get out of their little calf creep. And then we let the cows out. We let the cows out by themselves. And for the first couple of days, we only let the cows out into that little pen. So we only let the cows out into that pen. And then eventually we wanted them to go out onto grass. So we put up a little bit of wire, as you can see there. And then for the next couple of days, we curtailed the calves inside and we let the 2 cows out into the field here. And you know, they were out, they had grass, they had food, they had everything. So the cows then were getting acclimatized. They were getting back used to being outside and onto a field, because obviously the cows would have been outside before. You know, it's not the cows' first time being outside, so we were just getting the cows sort of acclimatized and used to being outside again, and what it was like to feel sort of freedom, we'll say, you know, out in the field and whatnot. So they were getting used to that again. They were remembering what it was like being outside, and then they were getting used to being outside. And then on Sunday, the 23rd of June, we gave the cows no silage to eat, mainly because the last bale was eaten. So that the last bale that was put in for them was all gone. They had it eaten. So the cows weren't eaten. And we also then curtailed the calves into their little corner as well, so they weren't able to get out and get milk. So that was during the evening, before the evening. And then the next morning, we let them all out. Cows were hungry, calves were hungry, so they wouldn't have been running and racing. So we let them out. Now, there was two things here. There was the original plan and the new plan, which is what we've followed now. So we'll just go with the plan that we followed now, and then I'll go back and tell you what the original plan for letting them out was. But we let them out, the 2 calves and the two cows and the 2 calves. We let them out with the teaser bull and the heifers. So they're out here. Because before we were going to let them out into this field, but I'll get back to that in a minute. They're currently let out here. You can actually see them there. Those are the two cows there. The calves probably aren't too far away. There they are. There's the 2 calves. And also I want to show you something on the calves. So if I can climb over the gate. Yeah. So there, the 2 cows and the 2 calves are here, as you can see. Now, this is the next part of the plan that we always do when we're letting calves out for the first time, is to limit their movement. You could probably see that they're not really moving all that freely. Now, I don't know. Their 2 front legs, so her 2 front legs and her 2 front legs are tied with ropes, basically like handcuffs. And we do leave them on them for a day or 2, and then we'll take them off them. But that's basically to limit their movement. Otherwise, if we let them roam down, if we open that gate and let them, you know, run in, the floodgates would have opened. They pay no attention to wires or tapes or whatnot, and they'll run straight through them. They could get out onto a road, they could go into the wood, get tangled up somewhere, break legs or whatnot, or they could get into a bog and fall into a hole or something. So these are just procedures we have to follow to keep livestock and road users safe. So it's not like animal cruelty for any people watching it with no farming background. It's just procedures to take to make sure everyone is safe. So, where did they run to? They're above here. I'll get back to why we let them out with the heifers and that now in a minute. I might have to zoom in when I'm editing, but you can hopefully just about see the ropes on their feet. So as I'm recording this video, it is Monday the 24th. We let them out yesterday, Sunday the 23rd. So we'll either take the ropes off their feet this evening or tomorrow evening. I better stay back. There's a lot of excitement happening when I'm getting close to the calves, so we'll step back now. But hopefully you've seen the rope tied around their front feet. That's just to limit their movement. They're not able to run as freely and whatnot. So again, we just leave the ropes on them for a day or two, and then we let them, we'll bring them back in, we'll take the ropes off, and then we let them back out. But you know, once they're out for a couple of hours in the field, maybe a day, if they're let out for 24 hours or 48 hours, they're used to being outside, so they're acclimatized and they're well used to their new environment that they'll be in for the next couple of months. They'll be used to that. So when we bring them back in, take the ropes off and put them back out, they're not going to be running and racing and being giddy and hyper and whatnot. They'll be all settled, which is the whole idea, part of the plan, is that they're all settled and safe and they stay within the field itself. So now the plan, the reason we let the cows out with the heifers is mainly because of the teaser bug. Why? Because mainly that cow with the white face, that's her calf, and that mousy coloured cow has the mousy coloured calf. So she was the first one that calved. She calved on February, and she was the last one to, well, not the last one, but the last one for a while anyways. So it'll be more focused on her, but it'll be also focused on her in the next month or so. So we'll put them out with the teaser bull to promote them coming back into calf. The teaser bull will hopefully hurry up the cycle, we'll put it that way. Hurry up the cycle, yeah. And then it'll hurry up the cycle for them to come back into a bulling. So the teaser bull has many jobs. It's not just to detect whether a heifer or cow is in calf, but it also helps promote and speed up the cycle of getting them into heat and get them a bulling. So the teaser bull should promote that, and we'll be able then to get these two cows bulled in the next couple of weeks, couple of months, whenever it is. So that's why they're let out with the heifers, is because the teaser bull is here. Why we didn't let them out into their own field and put the teaser bull along with them is that the teaser bull's job with the heifer is not fully done yet. We have one or two heifers there that haven't been bulled yet, and we have a few heifers there that are coming up their repeat date. So if they repeat, he'll detect them. If they don't repeat, they're in calf. And we have a couple of them that have already repeated a few times. So whether or not they've stuck in calf or not, I don't know. So his job with the heifers is not quite done yet, but he also has another job with the two cows. So that's why we had to put the cows with the heifers and not put the two cows and two calves in a separate field and put the teaser bull with them. They're all in the one field, and he can do the two jobs that we want him to do. So now, back to the original plan, which was letting them out into this field here. So we'll have to climb up the gate again. Right, so the original plan was, before that changed and we let them out into there, was to let them out into this section here. So first of all, yeah, we're only going to give them a small corner of it, We were only going to be giving them a small corner, basically where the fence is now, which is what we gave the cows when we were letting them out by themselves. Eventually, when we wanted to let the cows and calves out, this was the section they were going to get at first, and then we'd start moving the wire, sort of strip grazing them, giving them little bits of sections every time, so that they'll eat the grass more better, they'll eat the grass more lower to the ground, and all that. So that's why we gave them this little corner just to start off with. And when we were going letting out the calves, we had the reeler ready on the go to put in 2 lines. So we're going to put a second line of electric tape in, just to an extra bit of security and peace of mind for when we were letting the calves out. We'd also still tie them to limit their movement, obviously, but that's because the more on the lines of the smaller calf, he'd easily be able to run underneath that tape there. So we were going to put in a second line to stop that, and obviously then we mightn't have the second line in it when we were going moving the fence, when we were going slip grazing them, but it was just the second line to make sure he stays with the rest of the other cow and the other calf, that he sticks with them and he doesn't run off in his own little tangent. So, but once they started eating the grass, we'd only leave 1 wire up and then start strip grazing them, because it's easier just to move the 1 wire than trying to move 2. So that was the original idea. Now what's going to happen to this field, not 100% sure yet. I'm guessing they're looking for male now. I'm guessing they will. Because we're strip grazing them at the moment. So once that field is grazed and there's no grass in it, we'll go in and top it. But I'm guessing then we might let all of them lot into this field and eat that grass, and then we might separate the cows and calves from the heifers and put them into their own separate field. I'm not 100% sure on that yet. I just know that they're going to be, the 2 cows and the 2 calves, the heifers and the teaser bull, are going to be together for the next couple of weeks. So yeah, that is the slotted shed empty. Cows, calves, heifers, bullocks, cows and calves, dry cows, all the livestock that we had in the shed is now finally out. Shed is emptied at long last, but I guess it's better late than never. So yeah, anyways, that was just a little quick update on how a little quick update now on all the livestock that's out on fields now. So yeah, that's it. That's going to be the end of today's video. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out my merch, the link to that will be down in the description, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Take care.